Uh-oh, we have more cards that you want to make sure you keep an eye on. Is this just a trend? Yes. Yes, it is. Make sure you guys smash the crap out of the subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Be happy. There's always going to be cool things that a spotlight gets shined on. So we're going to start off over here with the Salamander. And since we got the new Battle Phase archetype, a few people have been looking at this card going, wow, it's actually really cool. It's, you know, the ability non-tuner plus non-tuner fire for the synchro summon of you can draw 2, and then if you have a fire, you pitch 2 cards from your hand. So it's a cycle synchro with 2,600 attack points, which is actually not terrible. I don't think a lot of people kind of give this card enough credit, and it's a little bit more niche of a tech choice at this point in time. But when you're looking at the deck and how the plays can kind of go, it's free filtering at this point. We also don't know how much the archetype is going to do the filtering plays. It really just depends on, you know, if you're going to be a blind going second deck or what. But the deck does have some pretty cool potential. Also, I had to toss Trident Dragon up here. This card has been cratered off of the face of the market, and realistically, it's not even worth buying at this point. But I want to mention it and go, hey, you know, if you're planning on picking up this archetype and you want to start playtesting early, you're going to have to pay that premium. I would say probably in a month or so, you're going to see this card probably settle back down. Realistically, it'll probably also get a reprint along the way. This definitely checks all the marks for an OTS reprint, and Konami knows, gosh darn well, that players are going to want to test this. I also believe you can get like 11 attacks with this deck, and that's already insane as it is. So, good stuff to pick up. Interesting little tech choices for the deck as well. But, I don't know, people look at Battle Phase decks right now and they're like, oh, they're so terrible. I think they're underexplored, and that definitely gives you some room for things. Next up is the Melodious side of things, and this is actually kind of crazy to me, because the Bloom harmonist, the Melodious composer, from Ghosts from the Past, has been the thing that people have been looking at and going, hey, you know, we need to pick these up. And it's the same thing in the Lava Ball Salamander category. There are so many of these things on the market right now that they're not really being affected by things, and that's good. That's why, like, I go, hey, you know, check this out. You know, give it a chance to pick it up, and, you know, kind of go from there. And once again, good opportunities do kind of showcase that you can actually get it on the early stage here, so you can do things, especially with so many copies available. It's always a good thing. Now, with the good does come the bad, and it is the first movement solo. These have been cratered off of the market. A new challenger, super rare, all right, is it's needed for the deck, honestly. Like, the first movement solo is one of those things that helps this deck out so much. And obviously, a few people are like, well, you know, I don't really know if there's going to be methods of deck building for this that I'm going to want to mess around with. You know, like, he's always got people like, hey, you know, this build seems terrible, but I think for the Melodia stuff, this is all purely for fun, by the way. Fun in card games. Yeah, it's always going to be something to consider out here. So yes, Melodia stuff, if you are really looking at having fun with this, you've still got some opportunities, but in other places, things have disappeared. So, you know, kind of do with that what you will. Next up is going to be Pendulum area. Now, you might not remember what in the world this card actually does, but it's a trap card. And I actually saw an Abyss Actor deck playing 3 of these in their side deck. So if all monsters you control are Pendulum monsters, well, that's pretty easy in Abyss Actors. So as long as you control minimum 1, and they're all Pendulums, you can target 2 cards in your Pendulum zones, destroy both cards, and if you do, neither player can special summon for the rest of this turn, except for Pendulum monsters. Finally, someone out here did something. Well, first of all, somebody did something with Abyss Actors. Like, whew, let's let's clap for that. Like, that's what you want to hear. You want to hear that people are being successful with the oddities. The other good part about this is with that good means that we have something really cool seeing play, giving Abyss actors a chance to keep up. And it is a floodgate. I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news out here to tell you this, but it is definitely one of those things that you are going to want to be aware of. It is... I think it's cool, man. It's not like this card is like a scary pickup. This is merely going, hey, based on recent tech trends out here, if you've got Abyss actors and you enjoy the deck, give this card a side deck choice. You know, give it the opportunity to go, hey, you know, we can actually do something with this. You know, I always said that, like, the deck is very fragile. And now that you can set up your board, do whatever you want turn one with the Abyss Actor stuff, and you set this, you destroy your scales, your opponent goes, oh, okay, well, good job. Next up is Labyrinth. Now, realistically, we've been very, very, very vocal about the Labyrinth side of things, with transaction rollback rolling out here in just a month. All right, we've seen Labyrinth cards getting created off the market in the higher rarity department. This is no strange thing that's actually happening right now. The strange thing that is happening right now is you still haven't picked up your Labyrinth cards in case you do want to play this deck. And I think that's the scariest part of all. Once again, people love being caught with their pants down. You know, they want to be like, oh, hey, you know, like, oh, I heard about this. I'm going to wait. And they're like, no, I can't believe this doubled in price. I hate this game. It's like, you had a chance. Like, duh. Like, what do you expect to actually happen out here? So, yes, you got to be aware that your pickup window on this is closing down. And I do want to mention the Mayakashi trap card out here. The no special summon for you. With transaction rollback coming out, we are about to breed some of the most cancerous unfun that you could ever actually have, and we have seen plenty, and I mean plenty of decks out of the OCG that will try to play the transaction rollback to banish the trap card to make it so that your opponent cannot play the game for the turn. It happens. Right? It's absolutely disgusting, and I am not a huge fan of it, but floodgates be floodgates, and decks do need these methods to get the game back to their turn. So you will see the beautiful, beautiful floodgate interaction of the Mayakashi Trap coming up. So if you have not picked up your copy of the Mayakashi Trap card just yet, well, your time is dwindling. You want to make sure you have at least one copy of that. And, of course, I want to talk about Silent Forces / Voiceless / they can't talk monsters. This archetype's coming out in the next core set in 2024. This is one of those opportunities to go, save your gosh darn money so that you can have these cards. Because I think a lot of people are going to look at this archetype and it's going to enter the fray very, very cheaply. Now, it definitely has had crazy potential on the OCG side of things. The whole Novox protection, the Skull Guardian being huge, you know, also Saravis interactions, the trap able to kind of control the game. It's a more unique style of deck, for sure. And it's also insanely good to see the Ritual is getting the chance to kind of do something. So, fair heads up here. When we know that a good deck is coming down the pipeline here, we can go, save your gosh darn money so you can pick the stuff up on the early times, or you wait till release and then you cry when stuff goes up. Either way, you've been warned. All right, Silent Forces are going to touch down here in about a month and a half, and a lot of people are going to be very, very, very shocked at what they're about to see with this deck. I think it's going to be very successful in the TCG, but considering the fact we have 20-some odd decks, it should be, what, number 21, just kind of entering into probably the middle ground here, doing relatively well. And I'm kind of all about that, honestly. It'll be nice to actually see something change, even if it's just a little bit. So what do you think about these pickups? Please, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. See your beautiful faces back here in the day, guys. Peace out. patrons. Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.